Gambit Gaming is actually going to be Caitlyn. So do not want to deal with the immense range, the pulled over Peacemakers, and just the amount of pressure that champion has in lane.
There's your Kha'Zix ban though.
Look, let's be honest, nobody was really surprised by that.
Not particularly. It is Alex, it is there. He has done incredible with it throughout this tournament and previous ones. It's not a wasted ban at all. It is very, very important to take that away from him. But it has opened up a couple of other options for him. We saw him play Zed earlier on. Don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to play Zed, to be completely honest. He's got more than enough other options in there. It's going to depend on what IEM pick. Ryze is still there. It is his pro player pick. That is his favourite champion in that situation. With Elise and Thresh now bans. The third time we've seen Elise. 2 bans, 1 play. Thresh taken away from Edward.
Thresh, Kha'Zix, Shen. Isn't that what I said?
It is very well played. Very well played.
What does IEM ban?
And it's SKT who are in Group B.
They have banned out a team from Group B. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here. The final ban, Kayle, is still available. We know that Jinzhao is still available, and that is where it's going to go. So I want to see where Incredible Miracle go with their pick, you know, with this particular lock-in. If you do pick somebody like Kayle, you still have some versatility. You can throw her in the jungle, you can throw her in the mid lane, even potentially top, but that's not really the preference. So it gives them opportunities, and instead, they're preferring the Misfortune, and you know we've seen it banned out a number of times, so deciding to go for the carry.
Going to go for it. The first pick does leave plenty of options up for Gambit Gaming. There's that Volibear again. We've seen Diamond be very effective with him throughout the course of the tournament so far. And I mean, Cyanide tried it, he wasn't quite as effective, but not because the Cyanide can't play him, not because of the champion, just the way Fnatic been playing all day, unfortunately.
It didn't work out in the team game.
Get hold of it, but Diamond has been a very big bet, especially when he's got Lulu alongside him. That ultimate
I lost my mind. In that previous game where Volibear just got the wild growth from Lulu and he was immense and running around with his little arms, it literally just looked like Winnie the Pooh dawdling along. It was very, very cool to see. Gambit thinking about this. I mean, there's 20 seconds left on the clock. They still haven't even locked in Volibear, so keep that in mind. And, well, with the Renekton being locked in, you know that's going top lane, and you know Darren is just going to be a terror crocodile.
You're also going to look at the fact that, as Lee and Joe mentioned before, Gambit have a perfect record to defend. They won IEM Hanover last year. They won the World Championships there with a flawless game record. Can they do the same thing again? They are the Russians with that kind of pride. They're going to want it.
Well, this win would put them right into the semifinals.
Yep.
They would dodge the first round, buy it.
Guaranteed top 4.
Good odds. Guaranteed top 4.
So, I mean, and we keep talking about it and saying it, but really it's a record to be just so proud of. They've never lost an Intel Extreme Masters event that they have taken part in. They have won every single one. They've had some dramatic finishes, but, you know, they've picked up the victories, and that's really what counts. I mean, the amount of checks that Carmack and Intel have had to sign to the Russians is just insane over the last year.
I want to see their trophy room, to be honest.
It would be very cool. I imagine it's full of vodka now. Each cup.
Pringles trophy. Vodka Pringles trophy. Around the room.
A lot of picks be going through here, and Rumble has been banned out against Smeb at least the two times we've seen Incredible Miracle, you know, seen them played in. So I imagine that he's going to get locked in. The last second, Jarvan in the jungle.
I like that combo. I really like that. 3 already. You've got Jarvan with that, as we mentioned before, very long range engage, EQ, ultimate, locks people in place. Rumble over the top of it, Misfortune over the top of that. They can't run away because 1, they're locked in, 2, there's a massive slow from Rumble, keeping them all locked onto that, and Misfortune firing that physical damage at top. So there's magic damage, there's physical damage, just locked in. That being said, those are 2 very tanky members of Gambit. Lulu is going to pick one person to make them even bigger, stronger, tankier. And if cast in the right spot on the right champion, she's going to cancel Misfortune ultimate. She's going to cause a whole lot of disruption to Jarvan in his own ult.
What we've already got in terms of the compositions here, though, is no clear assassin, which is something that's a little different to what we've been seeing all day long. So when these battles take place, they're going to be a little bit more prolonged. They're going to be a little more drawn out just because of the fact that Rumble and Jarvan and Volibear and Renekton are beefy and tanky. If we do see Genja locking in this Ezreal, that's a very good pick. Exactly, and against everybody. I mean, every single one of the abilities gets currently locked in for Incredible Miracle. It allows Genja that air of safety and the ability to get away. You also see he's got Cleanse locked in as well. So
Cleanse goes in the last game too. His Misfortune game just Cleanse and goes. He's really mixing things up with his summoner spells.
I want to see if he still goes Average Blade. I still want to see if he goes Average Blade. This is something
He'll go Static Shift, so we'll get the Average Blade early, then he'll go into his Bloodthirster, then he'll go into his Static Shift.
Yeah.
But he'll get that early for the early farm. It means he doesn't have to worry about dropping too far behind in CS, or even if he's ahead, it's going to just amount over time. It's a very powerful item to have. And we mentioned a long while back, when the Mastery Trees were already done, there was 2% crit in that Mastery Tree. and it got removed pretty quickly because it would ruin lane. One person get that lucky crit, that snowballed out of control. You get an early 10% crit item, you can use that to your advantage. When you're trading in lane, you get a crit, you go all in, dominant. One quick crit, go all in.
There is something I'd like to point out about what Incredible Miracle are currently sitting on right now with the Rise and with the Zyra. The first time we've seen Gambit Gaming being beaten a few weeks ago by the Spanish Giants, it was against a fairly heavy CC composition, and it was in particular Zyra that had a massive, massive impact on the game. Volibear and Renekton are both melee champions. They need to run at you to get involved, and Zyra just says, nope, thank you, there's some roots, stay in place. And Panky, Alex is running Zed.
There's your assassin, yeah. I was waiting to say it, but they picked the Ezreal and started talking about that instead. But yes, there's your assassin. That's what Gambit like to go with. They like to have their big tanky line, do a lot of damage, assassin cleans up. But this IEM composition is incredible for team fighting. I love it. The amount of AoE in there, you cannot fight that team in the jungle and get away with it, to be honest. If they would each meet 5v5 running straight on, head on in the jungle, all of those abilities go down for IEM, and Gambit just get locked up and melted. They know that. Shouldn't do that. We'll wait and see. It's all going to matter about ward coverage and positioning and who goes. So we'll see when it actually gets into the game how that plays out. But Gambit, we know how they like to play. We've seen them play a very similar comp to this earlier on. Once they start to get a little bit of control, we will see a lane swap. I'm 90% sure on that. And once they start to take those turrets down, once they start to place those walls, start to get a bit of map control, they can roam as a group. They can start to get these little skirmishes, and it should, if they go the way they want it to and the way they like to play, reach the point where it doesn't matter if they take that 5v5 straight up in the jungle. They're going to be so far ahead, they'll just absorb all that damage, get a quick Lulu ultimate onto Renekton most likely, and it'll just go further into that team and dismantle it from the inside out.
Do you think the Russians can go 5-0, Jarrett?
You know what? I'm scared. When I look at these competitions, I'm pretty scared. But then again, I'm a noob. I'm interested to see how this mid lane matchup goes. Rise versus Zed, Alex Siege versus Mid King. Mid King just coming off that incredible performance, including a pentakill. It's going to be tight, very exciting. The game is loading, the casters are ready, everybody's ready, and so excited. The fans are so excited. Pretty packed here.
It's very packed here.
And we're excited. So we're going to head on over to the casters. We're ending the day with two of the greatest casters on planet Earth, Lee Demon Smith and Joe Miller.
Thanks a lot, Jarrett, Kale. So here we go then, doing final game of the day is LGIM versus Gambit, who are looking unstoppable for Teo, which we've said before is actually quite a worrying sign for the rest of their tournament, because usually it's the other way.
Well, Gambit are just unstoppable at the moment, and the thing is, Mid King picked up the pentakill earlier on. He played really well. So how is it going to work out in the mid lane? Alex is picking Zed into this, so he's obviously feeling confident against Mid King here on Rise. I'm not so sure. And as Trevor pointed out, the fact that Diamond, again, I tell you what, is this an omen, right? The exact same thing happened against CJ Enter's plays.
It could be an omen.
The exact same start. Demacia Standard went down on his head, and they got a kill shortly afterwards. And well, there comes Lilac again, throwing it down again, and Diamondprox was ready and waiting to get flippity-floppity on him, but instead, Lasher, who honestly for me, in that game where Mid King picked up the pentakill, I think he was probably MVP in that game, with trolling with the laughs.
Yeah, I'd agree with you with that one. The Nami play was just ridiculously strong from him. I mean, he was
and that
so
wave is not
good.
an easy ulti to land on multiple people because it's so slow coming at you, but he managed to land it no problem.
Well, if that's anything to go by, Zyra ultimate as well, similar kind of thing, you know, not the easiest one to get in there, certainly to get the knock-up off, so we'll have to see how this one goes. Early stages, doesn't look like either team going to be risking anything, and I was talking to Edward before this game, and I'm like, don't worry, mate, you are guaranteed number one, even if you lose, so you can play a funky comp for us. And he's like, no, I want 5-0. Like, all right then, fair enough.
They want to be undefeated, and you know, they're seeing that potential. They can do it again. They went 9-0, I believe it was, at last year's CBET Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. They would have to go 10-0, I think it is this year, because we have that best of 5 finals, but it's probably not beyond the realms of possibility. Who knows? There's a lot of teams out there that could try to spot them. Glitterland straight away thrown across, and you see Genjo going aggressive as well. This is his Ezreal champion. Someone he does actually go aggressive on. The Q going back on towards Lasher. Genjo keeping out the damage down, and LGIM choosing to take their duo lane up against Gambit there in this top lane.
Yeah, gonna be a fun one, this for sure. LJM really playing. This is an important one for them. It's basically make or break this game. If they end up losing, then they could be out. Or I think technically they would be going out if they end up losing this one because of the way that the group stays right now. But we decided we're going to leave the maths to the guys over on the analysis there. So we'll not talk about the ifs and buts here. Let's concentrate on this game. Early start, not too much action apart from this top lane where they've gone back and forth. In the bottom lane, we are going to be seeing...
Oh, he is way too deep.
Coming down here. Darian is a little bit too far forward on this one. Are LGIM going to be able to get in? Here comes the Jarvan. He's got the double buff on Flash from Darian. We'll get him away from the combo, but that's his Flash burnt now.
Interested, he may not have taken slice and dice there. I didn't see what the skill he had, actually. He's only level 2, so maybe he couldn't slice and dice away. That was somewhat surprised he didn't try it this time, and he hasn't got the point in it. Flash was already burned, and that's going to be a very, very dead Darian. He can't get away from it. Ignite used as well. I'm not too sure if it was even required, but it's Lilac that picks up the kill.
Yeah, actually both players from LGIM there using their Flash to get in, and that's what you can do with the safety knowledge, with the knowledge that he's not going to be able to flash away. He's obviously not got a point in slice and dice because he would have used that earlier on rather than his Flash, and that was just a nicely set up kill. To be honest, I'm not sure why Darian really stuck around for that situation. I think that was on the cards the entire time as Diamond comes down to his bottom lane. He's a level behind Smeb, who, for me, considering he's the new boy here in this LGIM team, has not been bad whatsoever. As Edward there getting rooted in the top lane.
Well, really nice play from Paragon. Although, you got to give credit to Gambit there. They forced LGIM back, and the fact that they missed out on the Siege Minion. So, big chunk of gold missed out for Paragon there. Alex being pushed away, has used that Fortitude Potion already. Lilac spotting him out with the Demacia standard, and Mid King, again, you can see his damage has been burnt, so Alex has had a good go at him and may well do it again. Expecting to see Lilac, though, making a return kill. We see a flash from Edward there on towards Lasher, and it's going to be Alex H picking up a kill in the mid lane, and Lasher is going to survive that one, so Edward Flash Ignite didn't quite work out to him, and Alex H picking up a kill on Mid King.
Yeah, really nicely done there. And, well, we were in the top lane thinking that with that aggressive flash coming out of Edward, we were going to see a kill there, but it's Alex H who does it in the middle. That brings us back to a 1-1 score. The kills right now, 1 with Rise, 1 with Jarvan, as we are not quite going to see that kill at the top lane.
No.
To Zyra.
No, we're just going to watch that one go down as well. So, Edward doing his usual, really, picking up the kills. It's good that Genja supports him now and again, though. It's Edward.
I tell you what, as a support, it's always great to know that you can rely on your AD support player to support you through the game. That's what Edward, he really has a good time.
Well, it was Lulu that he went 5-0-2 on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just at the weekend. So it's possible he can maybe go that route again. As it is, though, we've got to keep our eye on that bottom lane, because Rumble is a champion that the Koreans usually heavily rely on. Smeb currently on Rumble. It's always banned out, and you notice the very first game of the day, Blaze versus LGIM, Rumble was the very first ban that went out there. Darian, though, on Renekton has been pretty strong in the LCS, and you can see he's putting the damage down on towards Smeb there. But everybody backs away. Kale, I think 100% banned now, maybe this whole group stage. I'd be surprised. And I actually caught a glimpse earlier on that the Brazilian player of Pain, he's got that massive Chaos statue right across his back. It's pretty impressive.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
His entire back is a massive Chaos statue. It's pretty good tattoo, I'm not going to lie. But, video games, tattoos.
Yeah, I was going to have Demon's name tattooed on my forehead once, and then I decided it's probably not the best idea for future relationships.
You were going to say it across the back of your tramp stamp style, but it's not going to be. As it is, you see the equalizer coming out, but here comes Volibear out there. Demacia standard. Lilac hasn't used Cataclysm, and he does manage to pick up the kill. He could Cataclysm on towards Diamond. Oh, very deep play from Alex H on the second turret there. The second turret's going to come out. He's going to get him now. The Ignite. No, it's run out. And well, Alex H does it again, and it's 2-0 in that mid lane against Mid King.
Talk about dominating there. I mean, the burst potential, obviously, of Zed is very dangerous. Yeah, double CS. Well, he's had more time in lane, at least. Obviously, after getting that kill earlier on, that one just going to make even more of a problem for Mid King, as we are going to see a bit of pressure here on towards Paragon. Where's the slow? There is a Glitterlance coming out. They may look to finish this one. The root not quite going to land, and Lasher just coming in the nick of time will save his teammate for now. However, Flash is not going to be down for too long for Edward.
Indeed, we do see Lilac nearby though. He's helping out with the blue buff from Mid King. See whether he's going to transcend up towards that top lane. As it is, Darian going back to the bottom. 0-2 now in that lane. 2 assists for Smeb. Has gone and got the Guardian, if I remember rightly. I've got to remember the
Seeker's
exact
Arm
name.
Guard.
Seeker's Arm Guard. This is the problem when we're a patch behind. I never managed to catch a glimpse of all the exact names. Trevor will be telling me off later on.
I think he just threw up. That's how disgusted he is right now. That you missed that one off. But that leaves us at 3-2 advantage, of course, with Gambit, not just in the kills, but also in the gold. Hanging about 1,000 gold lead at this stage. CS in this top lane very even, as we are going to see Lilac come in. Edward may be in trouble. Perfect bullet time. And Edward, well, there was nothing left of him after that.
Well, Lilac not hanging around with the Cataclysm, pouncing straight on him, and Edward's just like, well, I've not got flash, I'm pretty screwed. Going down here. Diamond, though, flipping the bear, and he's going to pick that one up, see whether he's going to actually looking like he may give it to Genja. Genja thought about coming down and getting it. Instead, he's like, no, better defend this turret, you know. It's not really going to help out as it is. We've got to keep our eye on that mid lane as well. Alexic, see how he does against Mid King. Mid King did pick up the pentakill, and just as I mentioned it, Alexic goes very deep on him, and the ignite goes down. It could be enough. It is enough, and the blue buff transfers to Alexic. 3-0 now.
Fed much. It's just like, oh, you want to come back into lane? And Smeb actually in trouble down in his bottom lane. Darian playing safe. Darian's not usually a player who will dive for these kills. He is a player that gets caught out a little bit too often, but ironically not going the other way, as we are going to see him go back in there. Is the stun coming down onto Smeb, but again, not wanting to follow up. He's quite happy to force Smeb away from the lane.
It's interesting he can keep the pressure on him, despite the fact he is 0-2. Of course, both of those deaths have come when Lilac's come to visit. So, as it is, he can see Lilac in the middle, so he realizes he's very safe in that bottom lane. We do see Volibear, Diamond Prox, just lingering off in the shadows, in that tri-bush. Coming up now, he's going to get spotted out. Lasher realizes it, but it's Paragon trying to turn the aggression on towards Edward. Edward uses the wild growth on himself. Diamond Prox comes in, flips it in. Genja's putting the damage down. There goes the world volley, managing to take him straight down. It's Edward that picks up another kill. Great support work.
Yeah, great support from Genja there, making sure that his support carry has just picked up the kills again. 2-1-0 now for Edward, as Darian in the bottom lane went a little bit low with Rumble as well. But
That's actually the only one he got the assist for, Genja. He didn't get the assist for the last one.
It's like, oh, Edward. Gambit, of course, the top of the group. Whatever happens to this one, as Alex again putting the pressure down, and you can see that that's the turret helping Mid King out. Alex is just bossing him around in this bottom lane. Darian going head-to-head in that bottom lane as well, as we are going to see Alex. Look at this, he's going to try and turn it around. I'm not sure this time he's going to get it, though.
No.
With the help of the turret, Mid King still went very, very low. With that ignite there, that would have been a different story, though.
Yeah, if ignite was up, it would have been very different. Smeb, though, building up, trying to go aggressive, but Diamond Proc spots him out there. Darian flashes through, gets the stun down. Here comes Volibear. Diamond flips him back in there. The ignite will finish him off, and Diamond picks up the kill. That's what Diamond needed. Darian, in that bottom lane. Finally, his jungler comes in to help. Paragon puts the bullet time on Genja. Just outranges it with the flash and arcane shift.
Yeah, nicely done then by Genja. Actually didn't even use his ghost or anything there. He was just like, well, I'm pretty safe. Arcane shift's going to be enough for me.
I thought he flashed to it. It's just arcane shift.
Yeah.
Strolls away.
Nicely done. What's the CS like in this top lane? Obviously, referring to the AD carry CS, 77-75, even stuff. What Misfortune with that extra kill actually going for Brutalize the double Doran's Blade compared to the pickaxe and the Vamp Scepter. I'm guessing that it's going to end up going Bloodthirster first anyway, as we have been seeing, and then utilizing that pickaxe for something else later, that last Whisper later. Zed is looking like he's going again, as we saw earlier from Alex, into that Blade of the Ruined King.
Edward currently with the same gold as Genja. That's how it works in your lane. Support keeping at Corsic on these GP10 items fairly early on. So 6-4 currently, and Lasher now manages to get the roost out, puts his ultimate down, but Darian just walks away from that one. Paragon's going to put a lot of damage back down on towards him. Alex, it stood on top of a pink ward, and Mid King not having any of it. Instead, his jungler is going to come round and help, and here we go. Lilac diving in, going to slide in. Demacia standing on towards Alex. It puts the damage down. Ultimate from Mid King, not going to be enough, and Alex manages to walk away from that one. And now the flip on top lane. Paragon getting caught out here. Darian will get the stun down. He's going to walk towards his turret, but it's not going to be enough, and that's another kill for Diamond.
Yeah, Lasher getting the root down there, but just doesn't have any damage really to offer into that. We do have Rise actually coming up in towards this top lane as well. Can they get in there? Here comes Jarvan as well. Darien will slice and dice, but the Cataclysm is down. This could end up being a double kill. First one comes around, but here comes Alex from the side, gets himself the double kill, and now he's not finished here. He's going to go down, try and track off Jarvan in the jungle, but can he finish him? He's down to half HP. I think he's seen him now. He certainly has there. Flashes over the wall. Alex doesn't have the flash, but he can follow there, and he is going to keep going, but has he got enough? He decides against it. But either way, double for Alex. He's now 5-1-0.
Yeah, dangerous play there. Alex has tracked them as they went up. That's exactly what you need to do as you spotted Mid King and Lilac heading up towards that lane and simply picked up a double kill. Nicely done. Smeb now goes aggressive on towards Genja. Wild Growth popped out from Edward, keeps him at bay, but Paragon is there. Can they turn it back around? Equalizer used, bullet time on Edward. Edward has to flash away from that one, manages to get away. Did use his Ignite in that fight, but does manage to avoid the damage. Diamond Prox was returning to lane, as is Darien. This combo seems to be working well for them.
Yeah, there's Blade of the Ruined King finished as well for Alex. As Zed can certainly afford it at this point, as Diamond Prox expertly dodges the roots there. Also going to be going into that Brutalizer there is Alex by the looks of things. On the other side, Rise got the Catalyst and the Tier already done. Jungle, we have Jarvan with that Giant Belt, his biggest one to know, plus to boot some ability as well for the extra speed getting into those lanes. On the other side, Volibear, pretty standard stuff there that Diamond is going for with that Spirit Stone. But Gambit are doing the Dragon right now. The plants from Zyra will be spotting them out, but that one's going to get low, and it's going to be a Dragon taken for Gambit. That puts them now 3,000 gold up.
Well worked out there. They did it just as Mid King gone to pick up that blue buff with the help of Lilac, so knew he'd be distracted, knew that he wouldn't be around after that pressure in the bottom lane as well. So Alexic now with the blue buff, where is he going to go? He's got the Blade of the Ruined King, 5-1-0. Going to be doing a hell of a lot of damage with that ultimate, and you can see him sit lying in wait. Genja trying to bait them in towards the turret, Edward alongside him, but Paragon is keeping the pressure down. The top lane as well is keeping pressure in, but Alex is not hanging around. He's just going full bolt, tilted towards Lasher, and you can see that's going to be a great ultimate from Lilac to turn it around. That's going to stop down on Alex. It's now Lilac going to continue chasing. Could have the slide in towards it there. It's going to be a great turnaround. Glitterlance on towards Lilac. Well, Genja's taking a lot of damage from Paragon. Paragon continuing to pressure. Whimsy comes down. Darien, meanwhile, in the top lane. Equalizer comes down. It's Smeeb that picks up yet another kill on Darien. And now Mid King comes in for Lilac. Sorry, for LGIM. Can they catch him on? I keep saying for Lilac because he is just initiating and setting up absolutely everything for LGIM right now.
Yeah, his Jarvan so far has been incredible. 4-0-2, picking up the kills, but you know, he's been in there for him. Those kills could have gone elsewhere, but you know, they fell to him, and he's kind of got a lot of weight on his shoulders now to keep that up, keep things going as we see turrets going down across the map. 2-0 now to the Koreans in turrets. Are we going to see any major purchases after what was a big fight there? 1,200 gold on Rise, 1,300 gold on Rumble, so they've both got a good chunk to spend.
So it's just coming up to the 16-minute mark, and you can see the gold on your screens. The fact that Darien has had some help and picked up some kills makes him close. The junglers, big difference there. Lilac way ahead, of course, on that 4-0-2, but then mid lane, massive disparity there. And you can see 1.5k ahead is Alexic, which is what a lot of that damage is. AD carry is actually fairly close, just 400, and of course the supports. It's Scumbag Edward picking up the kills, puts him 1,000 gold ahead of Lasher, and we'll see how that translates into items in late game. And Alexic returns back into that mid lane. Of course, we do see that Sightstone in there hasn't upgraded to the Ruby Crystal because he went for those GP10 items early on.
Yeah, those two GP10 items already given him about 550 gold, so that just shows you what kind of early advantage you can get, as we are going to see it all kick off in middle. Paragon going fairly low, will actually die to Zed in the end. Diamond Prox may be in trouble as well. He's running for his life right now. Alex and Edward are still in there, but Alex needs to escape as he gets rooted in. He's going down from this one, or is he just about to get away?
my
Mid
word.
King will get it. The equalizer would have finished the deal either way. And now LJM looking for their third and final outer turret here. Going into the middle as we see the flashes on towards Diamond. They need the prism. There it is, and it's a finisher for Mid King. Even Lilac went in on towards Edward there, but they're going to be happy with the fact that this is going to be the third and outer turret.
Well, LJM are fighting here. Darien is going to take down that top turret and continue pushing, but it's the middle lane where it happens, and LJM, what a great fight for them. 4-0-4 now, Lilac, and of course Mid King picking up those kills. Very important after such a terrible lane start for against Alex Ich, and Alex is 7-3-0, kind of getting a little bit too careless there. Obviously realizes he has a lot of damage and maybe going a little bit too deep too early on, but Diamond Prox, he's building that runic bulwark. Once that gets up there, and once Darien and Diamond combined, he's going to have that tanky front line that he needs.
Yeah, once those tanks are there, then it's going to be a different story. Also, once he's got a little bit of health of his own built up there, I mean, he's going pretty much straight
Darien
in
spotted by a
for the
ward
damage.
here.
Yeah, let's see if they can get onto him. Jarvan is coming around the side here. Where is the combo? There it is. Darien going to get knocked up. You can see he was trying to get away to slice and dice through the wall with the ultimate running. He escapes.
He'd put the ping ward down, he was ready and waiting to go, and he thought about flashing for it, but clearly the team obviously called no. He did have Cataclysm available, so he could have just jumped straight across, but they had no idea where the rest of Gambit were, so maybe a wise play, but we could have seen he maybe would have got the kill. As it is, Alex is down the bottom lane. Paragon doesn't want to get close to him because Alex has a hell of a lot of damage. Flashes out of the bullet time, takes him down. Now Lasher could finish him off. Ignite comes down, and it's going to be a last basic attack from Lasher.
Yeah, that ultimate dodge just about there by Alex. He actually would have died to Misfortune if he'd have not actually flashed behind him at the same time there. That was nicely done by Alex. Obviously, only prolonged his life a little bit, but got the kill anyway onto Misfortune. He's now 8-4-0. As we can see, Darien coming back into lane. Smev is actually in that bush there. Let's see if they decide to go head-to-head on this one. In fact, they will do it. It's a big head-to-head as the equalizer goes down. The Ignite, is that going to get put in there as well? Yes, it is running right now on Darien. He's going to try and slice and dice his way off, which will keep him alive for now. Just Smeb wanting to force him out of that lane. He's done the job.
Well, is he backing away? I wasn't sure whether Mid King maybe was going to come up. Didn't want to face check that bush, instead needs to pick up that blue buff. Probably a wiser choice. The game's still very close, coming up to the 20-minute mark now. 3-1 in turrets currently for LGIM, but we are still just 1,000 gold, really, 1,500 gold overall between the two teams. So plenty to play for between the teams. The kills, of course, stacking heavily on Alex Ich, but he is being taken down very quick, which actually spells danger a little bit for Gambit. But when they do pull together, as they are with this dragon up, they should start having that tanky front line. Diamond in there, Darien can both quickly engage, and they're looking for kills here. With the wards down though, Gambit want to take that dragon.
Yeah, Genji going to push bottom lane out. Dragon going to be up here soon as Alex actually just goes over the back there. He's been spotted by that ward, and this could be a little bit of a dangerous situation for him. There's no flash available, obviously. Has some ability built in anyway, but for the fail-safe, you certainly would like to have that in there. He's coming around this backside once again. Dragon going to be taken here. Comes Darien straight into the middle of the team. Going to get held down by the Rune Prison. There is the bullet time, but it's not doing too much damage. First kill is going to come in for Alex Ich. Edward hit there by the equalizer. He could well fall from this one as Genji trying to carry them away on that backside. But right now it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Gambit. And now Genji chases in there. Finishes off with a Q. Is finally going to shut down Lilac and get there. Darien not finished just yet as he tries to get into the back there onto Rumble. Either way, Gambit take the kill advantage. 3-for-1, a dragon and the middle outer turret. That is a big win.
Spins the gold very much in their favor there. Of course, they may even take the bottom turret as well. Genji immediately went straight down towards that bottom lane to clear out the wave and push on towards the turret. That would take them 3-3, equal in turrets with a big 5,000 gold difference in that gold. You can see it's almost gone. So the moment Genji gets onto it, there's minions will take it down. So that's going to give them a 5,000 gold advantage from that one fight. Is that the turning point? Have Gambit smelt blood now? When you give them this advantage, they are usually lethal and they can just smell it. Alex played it cleverly. They knew he was off the side, but he just destroyed Paragon. He had no chance, even during bullet time. I think he got 2 or 3 shots of bullet time and he was gone, deleted.
Yeah. Yeah, really nice target in there from Alex Ich. Alex Ich picking off the right man in that fight. What have we got now from the items? Let's have a look at that. Runic Bulwark going to be finished by Diamond Prox. That's a big one in there. Last Whisper added into the Bloodthirster for Ezreal. On the other side, Brutalizer and the Vamp Scepter, not really Misfortune in a position to contend with Ezreal at this point, but certainly will get there as the game goes on. Rod of Ages and the Glacial Shroud for Ryze. That Warmogs obviously was finished off a little bit earlier on for Jarvan on the other side, and we've also got a Hex Drinker on both Renekton and Zed.
Yeah, Alex tracking out there. He has been spotted, and you can see LGIM starting to collapse towards him. They may well try and get a 4-man pile, but they have to be careful they don't leave their middle lane exposed. And Mid King immediately reacting to that one. Lilac's going to come off the side there. Diamond's going to put the ward down, see him coming, and that's going to be Gambit pressuring this mid turret. Here comes LGIM there. They're going to dive on towards Darian. He seems to be the target. He's a very tanky target there. He's just got his Sunfire cape, and Lilac's just realized it. He's not sure he can take the damage, but he is going to pick up one. He pick up two. That's going to be actually Zyra that picks up the 2 kills. Lasher there, and they are going to have to back off from this one. Alex Ich, he's been caught. Rune Prison. Is he going to slow him down though? Alex should be able to flash away from this one. Gotta be careful they don't go too close into a bush and get exposed. Alex is going to keep tracking them away. Genja's actually tracking back in towards the mid lane. He might get dived on. Lasher tries to get the roots down, but he's going to back off, and again, keeping him pressured. They could turn and try and pressure the mid lane themselves here.
We talk about Curse of the Sad Bullet Time, and I'll tell you what, that combo coming out of LGIM was absolutely perfect. The Cataclysm locked them in, Zyra knocking them up, and then the Bullet Time came across them all. Really well executed fight out of LGIM. They're still almost 5k behind in this one, but they're pushing on towards this inner turret now in the middle lane. Should go down with this wave of minions. Actually, LGIM going to back away from this as they see the bear running towards them, and, well, any normal person would run from a bear, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would run, that's for sure, especially when it's Diamond Prox. He looks pretty scary when he's quite skinny, I know that, but you know, he can be intimidating.
He does a bear pose.
When you hear him speak, it's just like, that voice doesn't belong to that body. What is wrong with you? What do they feed you in Russia? We don't know. But the death push, it's being set up for Gambit. The question is, will they fall into it? Surely Zyra will start off and just root that bush, and that will catch all of them. They instead turn straight away. Mid King just getting rough moved. Absolutely drop where he stands, and now Lilac, the man, the leading killer for them, is taken down as well. Gambit set up and executed that perfectly. You just got to wonder why they didn't let Lasher go in to start with, put the seed and the root in the bush.
Yeah, they've quite frankly balls that one up completely. I mean, there's no reason that you should ever not check that bush with what they've got available there. The flag from Jarvan, the roots, the plants, everything coming out of Zyra, and that's going to cost them a Baron and quite possibly the game. I mean, they were keeping it close on kills. Those team fights were definitely not one-sided, but that might be the thing here that Gambit used to separate this deal off.
Well, they do have the Baron, and here we go. Let's see what advantage they do claw from this one. Diamond continuing to pressure and chase down on Paragon, actually. Keeping them at bay because he wants the blue buff. And he's going to give that across to Genja. Darian, meanwhile, is going to pressure in that top lane. Alex Ich is going to join him. And Smed needs to be careful. He doesn't let them get too close to him because he could get popped very quickly. Alex does not quite have his ultimate available, and now Darian might get caught. Slice and dices away. Mid King can't quite get the Rune Prison. If just that little split second close, he would have got him, but they've left the mid lane exposed now. Genja's going to push down there. Lasher's trying to keep them at bay. Volibear just tanking it up. Diamond Prox, can they get a couple of shots on towards his turret with the Baron? They're keeping it a split push, but Lilac might try and dive in this one. Still has got Cataclysm. Catches on towards Diamond, but Diamond flips him out of the Cataclysm. Now you can see the Rune Prison go down, but Diamond has a Runic Bulwark. He is the tankiest member of the team, and they are just targeting the wrong man right now.
Yeah, that was a totally bad call. I'm not sure why you go for someone so tanky with a flip. Yeah, he's just going to flip you out of it, and you can't do anything about it, and he's just kind of just sat in there like a bear in a cage, not being able to do anything, but he's not dead, and that's the point, as we are going to see them coming. Genja going very, very low. Bullet Time comes across, as we are going to see Darian chasing into the back. He's going to get rooted up. Alex is coming in from the side. This could be absolute destruction as Alex gets in there. Is he going to get knocked up? Yes, he is, and rooted in. Knocked up by Jarvan as well, and they finish him off. They've only managed that one kill onto Misfortune. Genja here though off to the side may look for some kind of opportunity to get over. Not sure he could really 1v1 Smeb here. Well, he probably could if he catches him out of position there. Hugh gonna land. He's gonna go for this one.
He might well go for it. You can see he's keeping the pressure down. He does get shifted into it, and Genja just pops him down. I think he actually questioned whether he could do it himself. He was kind of looking at it going, well, I kind of have some damage, but I'm not sure. Oh, well, might as well give it a go.
Do it.
Suddenly he realized that Smeb actually has only got that arm guard, so that's really all the defense he has. Genja going to go back down, solo out the dragon, but that was a Baron of up Gambit Gaming, kind of messing up their fights.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that it was a little bit messy, wasn't it? Alex tried to get right into the back line rather than taking, for example, Zyra, who was actually for the taking there on the steps, albeit underneath the turret. But if he'd have gone there rather than the standard in towards that AD carry, who was already low anyway, did end up dying in the end. Edward going to get caught out, but got the speed running away just about.
And then he has the nerve to go back in there. He's like, well, he's got to protect his ward, man. Got to protect his ward. Doesn't want to let them things go down, even if they are for free from that ruby sight crystal. Instead just puts one up on red, and still he's got balls of steel, just sticks around with that oracle. It's an expensive item to be in that jungle completely on his own. They are nowhere near him with the rest of his team, so if he got caught out, he'd be very, very dead. But instead he's like a little ninja hobbling around, and he's got, of course, Alexic on the true ninja helping him out. 10-5-3 Alexic currently the top killer of the game, but Mid King, he's turning things around. They've got to keep their eye on him because he's starting to get tanky as well.
Yeah, and if we look over towards Ezreal, picking up the Spirit Visage there. So, interesting choice for him in that one, but to be honest, one that fits him in this situation perfectly.
Oh, I guess he's got the Bloodthirster in there, wants to keep that lifesteal and wants to gain more lifesteal from it. And actually,
the health, the magic resist, is perfect against this team.
Genja's one of the people that normally goes double Bloodthirster actually on Misfortune, so whether he may do it on towards Ezreal as well. We do see the mid turret going down though, so that's an inner down, 5-3 in turrets. There is a big stack in the bottom that's slowly building itself up, so Gambit have just a straight push in there, and wow, look at that Mid King. Actually, that burst didn't do a great deal to him now because he's got that Glacial Shroud. He's got the Seraphims as well, so he's got a lot of defense should he require it. Just pop that big shield on. Well, Genja's just going to clear out the wards, and Gambit are taking this one steadily. We just saw a 42-minute game, I believe it was, with Fnatic. We're up to 30-minute mark, and this one doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. LGIM are holding them off very well, and Lilac has been a key part of that.
Yeah, about 30 minutes in, one fight, especially in this position, if it's good for Gambit, could lead them through for the victory. It looks like we're going to see a bit of split pushing coming off. Ezreal was, or is, I should say, moving. They're going for pushing that top lane down. Mid King actually going to come back around here. There's the equalizer coming in. They're going to dive on towards Darian. Can they kill him though? Look how long it's taken to take him down, and he actually will get a wild growth there coming out from Edward. Can GG turn this one around?
True shot.
There is a true shot barrage coming in. The knockup going to land onto both Alex and Edward, but they're not finishing the bear. Looking for the flip. Bullet time comes down, but look how low they all are. They could mop up here for the ace, and there is 2 kills coming down for LGIN. Sorry, Paragon did die in the end as well, so a 2v2. But look at the LGIN team on the left-hand side. They are all blinking red here, and GG may just be able to push in for the extra kills here at the end. Rise just going off towards the one side. Can he get away from them? Ezreal in hot pursuit. They are going to spot Smeb's position. That totally gives away where they both are. They turn around onto Ezreal, but they both die.
They tried a clever little play, and it's all they could really do is trying to go into a blind bush. But unfortunately for them, it was Alexic that led the charge into that bush, and they took them straight down. So more kills, more gold, all going towards Gambit. They have a 13,000 gold lead. And it still doesn't look it when you come into the fights. If they manage to get to the fight at the right angle, as it was, they tried to initiate on Darian, and they need to learn that now Darian and Diamond are simply too strong to be the first targets. They have too much resistance, too much damage, and when that bear is nearby, the runic bulwark's helping them all out, and the red buff, well, being picked up by Genja, he's kind of the man they need, but Ezreal's just so slippery, you can't pin him down.
Yeah, really difficult to hold down. Got plenty of health. That cooldown reduction certainly helps things out as well. And Black Cleaver was finished by Alex. He's got that Warmogs and the Hex Drinker and the Blade of the Ruin King in there. He is super healthy at this point. Twin Shadows as well was picked up by Edward. So now getting that magic resist in there, got the slows, got the movement speed extra, like really great item as well for the situation that they're finding themselves in against that double AP team. Question is where it's going to come in. Lasher is going to get caught out here inside of his own jungle, going to put down the Strangled Thorns, but he's going to die from this one. It's Darian that picks up that kill. Darian is a little bit in no man's land here, as he is actually going to get knocked up, but can he escape from it? There is the Wild Growth and the flash away. That is a big crocodile looking over the top of the trees as the rest of Gambit going to close in onto them. Bullet time is good, and actually there is a Cataclysm as well in a perfect position to hold them back, but can they finish off the kills? Paragon going to flash away. Alex Hitch is going to chase him, but the bulk of the team are going head to head here by the Wolves, and Smeb isn't going to be able to escape that one. That will be a 1-for-4. Paragon did manage to get away, but Gambit gonna back off and say it's Baron time.
Diamond Procs, the bear that doesn't care, manages to pick up 2 kills, and he got the flips in as well. And of course, that Sunfire Cape helping out from Darian. Massive, massive crocodile, as you mentioned, with that Wild Growth and his ultimate running. And it is going to be another Baron pickup for Gambit. And that's just simply another case of taking an opportunity in the jungle. So many times you see people just getting caught out there, and I'm not too sure they're really in a position to try and follow it up. They just don't have the damage right now to deal with the tankiness that Darian and Diamond Procs have, and it's always those 2 guys that they end up starting to initiate on. And with that Wild Growth popping them out, giving a big health bonus, they just can't take them down. And I'm still not seeing enough damage items coming out from LGIM. They're suffering, they're trying to get the gold, they're trying to get everything they need. And Paragon actually landed, honestly, probably the perfect ultimate there, but it still wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the defensive items that are in there, that Locket, they've got Shurelius to get in and out of the fight, those double Hex Drinkers in there, there's 2 Warmonks, Spirit Visage on the AD carry, like, they are ridiculously tanky, plus they've got those Blades of the Ruin King, Black Cleaver, Bloodthirst, the Last Whisper. It's really, really hard to do anything. Actually, Renekton, with that Sunfire Cape finish, has now got a 3rd Giant Spell in his items.
Well, he's a crocodile on fire, and he's taking down a dragon. Edward there, clever use. You notice Genja just used the True Shot Barrage to clear out towards him, to actually check Edward's path was clear to go in and put those wards down. Did actually spot out Lilac as well, so managed to find that it is clear, and Edward pings down those wards, and it's looking like the bottom inner turret is the next target for Gambit. Darian comes around the side to make sure it's clear, and there's not a great deal that LGIM can do about this one.
No, they're going to have to surrender this one. If they're going to fight anywhere, or try to fight, it's probably going to be here on the steps of their base. But I still don't think it'll go too well. And see the Twin Shadows there coming out of Edward. Actually use the Locket there, and we are going to see Shurelius pop. In comes Lilac to the back line. Well, Mid King is in a little bit of trouble. Lasher misses his roots, and Mid King surely will go down. The ultimate out of Zyra will knock a couple of them up. There's a fight inside of the Cataclysm. That lands in a double kill for Alex. Smeb will actually flash onto the fountain itself, and obviously Lasher only shown as alive because of his passive there. That's going to be an inhib turret, and the inhibitor